planet's on fucking fire.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Nikki. You're watching Backyard Politics. I want to give a huge thank you to everyone that has supported this channel and donated. Amers, Virgil Fitzgerald, Matt S., Victory Jin. Those are just to name a few. All my patrons on Patreon. You guys have helped me out so much. I was able to get some gas masks purchased, which is definitely going to help with the protests coming up, I'm sure. So I have been overwhelmed with your guys' support, really. It's incredible that, you know, I feel when I'm in the real world doing my everyday thing, I feel like nobody gives a shit about what's going on. And then I see your responses, your feedback, and it's like, okay, somebody fucking cares. So thank you for not making me be the lone wolf out here. Some exciting news with Backyard Politics. I have been so busy this weekend. I haven't been on social media like at all. I got the gas masks purchased, like I said, and been doing like behind the scenes, you know, channel stuff. I've been working on an investigative piece that I will let you guys see as soon as it's ready. I've been working with a little bit with a family that's in the area, and that's as far as I'm going to go with that right now. But as soon as it's ready to be seen, I will share that with you guys. And then I've got press credentials that are being printed and are on their way. So it's exciting, really exciting. I've also, on a personal level, been applying for jobs for probably a little over a month now. There's nothing, and I'm sure that's not news to any of you guys. There is literally nothing. So that brings me to today's episode. It says here, if I can get rid of my notes. The American unemployment system is broken by design, which a lot of you might know. It's fixed. It's not broken, it's fixed. It's rigged. Everything is rigged. Millions of Americans have discovered an ugly truth about unemployment. If we scroll down here a little bit, unemployment is a state-by-state patchwork where what you get depends on where you live. Instead of passing a UBI in a fucking pandemic or Medicare for all as well, we're stuck with whatever our state is willing to fork over, and if you can even get a hold of the unemployment office. Side note, if you are having issues getting a hold of your unemployment office, try calling a smaller branch in a smaller county. That's what we did, and it ended up working out. We got unemployment benefits, still looking for employment. This goes on to say the first state to implement an unemployment insurance program was Wisconsin in 1932. The general idea was extended nationally under the Social Security Act of 1935. In the debate leading up to the law, some reformers pushed for a federal program, but ultimately what was put into place was a joint federal-state venture where states set criteria within a set of federal guidelines. The program is funded through unemployment insurance taxes that employers pay to the state and federal government, and the amount collected by states varies, as do the benefits they provide, the way they set up their systems, and the way they deal with applicants. So depending on what state you live on, depends on what you get. The Department of Labor has always tried to abide by the spirit of that amount of state discretion, kind of balancing that off with having some coherence across the country as a whole in how the system is set up, said Erica Groshin, a senior extension faculty member at Cornell University and former commissioner at the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. There's a kind of a funny balance. Well, if you know MMT at all, you know that our whole country can afford unemployment benefits, UBI, etc. And so what the country has wound up with is a patchwork of unemployment systems. Many basic state programs provide a 26-week of benefits but that varies. I can't talk today. Alabama, for example, cut its maximum from 26 weeks to 14 weeks at the start of the year based on its state unemployment rate. How much claimants are paid varies as well. The national weekly average was $367. What is that going to do? As of February 2020, but it was just $215 in Mississippi, while it was $550 in Massachusetts. Unemployment insurance is supposed to act as a stabilizer in an economic downturn, but ungenerous benefits mean that it's not the case. In some of these states, the benefits are so hollowed out that it couldn't be countercyclical. In many states, benefits are intentionally difficult to collect and application process complex to navigate. This is fucking ridiculous. Many red and purple states have been particularly egregious in underfunding their programs and cutting benefits, while blue states have been more generous. That reflects a broader push within the Republican Party to pare down the social safety net and make it harder for people to access programs. It's played out recently in Medicaid expansion, which 14 states have rejected. So when all these right-wingers are saying the immigrants took their jobs, no. This is class warfare here. It's this unholy alliance between right-wing ideologues who are just against government in general and people with these implicit or explicit racial biases, said Harry Holzer, a professor of public policy at Georgetown University and former chief economist of the U.S. Department of Labor. But Democratic-leaning states aren't off the hook, as many of their unemployment and safety net systems are severely insufficient as well, because it's class warfare. It's the 1% against us, so it doesn't matter if Trump had gotten elected or that Biden got elected. The Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, or CARES Act, the $2.2 trillion stimulus package signed into law in March, makes some temporary adjustments to unemployment insurance. It's also the largest transfer of wealth to the 1%, leaving us with nothing in the middle of a pandemic. It adds on $600 a week in federal benefits through the end of July, extends eligibility by 14 weeks, and expands the pool of workers who can apply to include freelancers, gig workers, and those who are self-employed. Still, poor infrastructure and funding in several states make accessing those benefits hard. Like, give me a break. You guys, some people seriously think that now that Biden is elected, that things are going to get better. Blows my goddamn mind. Unemployment insurance hasn't kept up with the times. What's happened in many parts of the country is unemployment systems have gradually been whittled down. Part of the problem is that many people on the left have been more focused on getting aid to workers, and many people on the right have focused on cutting funding altogether, so infrastructure has been neglected. People pay attention when there's a crisis, and then it's too late to act. So, first of all, we need a general strike, big time. But before that, we need more people to wake up to the fact that this is class warfare. This is absolutely by design. Just because Biden got elected does not mean that things are going to look up. Who's the one that kicked out all those people in the first place? Bush and then Obama, right? Who's a part of Obama's administration? Biden. Who's Biden going to appoint to his administration? More Republicans. And, there's Mitt Romney, so that's good. Hillary Clinton, probably. Same shit. At least the Republicans, at the least, and I'm not a Trump fan, I'm not a right-winger to any degree, but at least the right-wingers can say, well, I thought that I was voting for something different the first time when they voted for Trump. I thought he was a populist candidate. I thought, based on the fact that, they're still uneducated in this, but you could at least look to him as a supposed outsider, not a politician, right? Again, this is not being a Trump apologist or any bullshit like that. I'm just pointing out the obvious. People that are like brainwashed into thinking that Biden is going to solve everything and they can go back to brunch. You got another thing coming, man. They're coming for you next. So this brings me to this website. It says, this is a graph on states, right? So if we take Alabama, for example, in January of 2020, the unemployment rate was 2.7%, okay? They're trying to spin this in the mainstream media right now as, well, unemployment's getting better. No, it's not. We just aren't shut down right now. And we won't be because Joe Biden's not going to shut anything down. He already said that. So where it spikes, obviously, is in April, right? Those are the highest numbers. So now they're saying, well, it's getting better. It's getting better. No, it's not. Based on the graph, it is. But that's just saying it's getting better from April. If you go back to January, just Alabama right here, 2.7%. This is to September at 6.6%. We can look at other states too. For example, here's Kansas, 3.1%, 5.9%. It's nearly still double what it was. Oregon, where I live, was a Democrat state. 3.3%. Now, 8.8%. That's in September. We right now are in the middle of a 2-week freeze, which is like a half-assed bullshit half measure. We have like a few things closed. Everything's takeout. You can't have like, you know, in-seating dining areas open or anything like that. What else? All the gyms and stuff are closed. But like, everything else is open, okay? That number's going to go back up, obviously. I've been looking for work personally for a little over a month. Nothing. Indeed today had, I think, no new posts at all from over since Friday, over the weekend to Monday. Nothing was posted. There's another site that I checked. No new posts, or maybe 3 new posts. There's nothing available. And when nobody buys anything, when nobody has any money, nobody can buy anything. When nobody can buy anything, they can't keep the stores open. When they can't keep the stores open, the small businesses go under. The big ones, like Guitar Center, are filing for bankruptcy, and you bet your ass they're going to be pulled out, and they're going to be fine, while the rest of us starve. Guitar Center's filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy, the latest company to go bankrupt during the pandemic that has decimated America's retail sector. The 61-year-old company, the biggest musical instrument retailer in the United States, had tried to stay afloat during the coronavirus pandemic by offering virtual music lessons. But Guitar Center was forced to close many of its stores in March during nationwide lockdowns, and it struggled to get customers to buy instruments as the economy headed south. Stores like Guitar Center, dependent on people making discretionary purchases, have been among the worst hit retailers this year. The company has nearly 300 locations in the United States, many of which are in strip malls that have been struggling long before COVID-19. So, goes on to say the company said in its bankruptcy filing that it received up to $165 million in new equity investments, and lenders agreed to reduce the company's debt by nearly $800 million. Where's our money? All of these fucking small businesses around here are going closed. I'm sure they are by you too. Where's our bailout? Where's our fucking stimulus package? Where's our UBI? Where's our Medicare for all? We've had one of the coolest movie theaters, Northern Lights, shut down. It was the cheapest in the area. You had to wait like a month maybe to see the newest movies because they got them after like the major movie theaters did. It was only like $5 a ticket to go in there, and it was the best time. You could afford it. Their food was great. It was cheap. People were really friendly. It was a small local business. They're gone. They're gone. Guitar Center is going to be bailed out. There's a small business called Uptown Music in Kaiser. If you live in the area and you need music stuff, please shop from them. They have been around since I was a child. I did violin lessons when I was in like 4th grade, and I got my violin through them. I don't know how they're still making it. This is what it was designed to do. They want to drive out the small businesses, and then all of these big businesses and big corporations come in and buy up those areas, and then you have like a Walmart and a fucking Amazon distribution center and like all these major businesses, and then the people can't make any fucking money, and we're working for those businesses that we're trying to put out of business and break up. And along those lines, Joe Biden says under no circumstance will there be a national lockdown. Okay, so when we do these half measures like Oregon's doing right now, where we just shut down certain things, you're emboldening the right's argument of you're just shutting down everything and we have no money. Okay? They're right when they say that. They're right when they protest Kate Brown because she's doing a terrible fucking job. But all of these people are. And they're doing it intentionally. They're saving their donors' asses, and they're leaving us to starve and be on the streets and die. There will be no national shutdown during his administration's response to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. If we were to, I've done a video about this last week, if we were to just shut down for like 2 to 4 weeks, completely nationwide, given a UBI, had rent freezes, mortgage freezes, then we wouldn't be in this position of, well, I don't want to shut down. I want to shut down. We need a shutdown, but we need medical help, obviously, and we need money. We all need money. I'm not going to shut down the economy. I'm going to shut down the virus. There will be no national shutdown. There's no circumstance that I can see that would require a national shutdown. Really? So all you people saying that Biden would have handled COVID better, what's your argument now? It says, though Biden said in August that he would do everything possible to get COVID-19 under control, including shutting down the country, in September he began opposing the idea. Just like all the Democrats were like, oh, I support Medicare for all, and then none of them do anymore. Ask Kamala Harris. In an October town hall, Biden said, I don't think there's a need to lock down. You can open businesses and schools if, in fact, you can provide them the guidance they need, as well as the money to be able to do it. Cool. Do that then. Give us the money. Biden's comment against a national shutdown comes as numerous states have begun issuing new restrictions and shutdowns on restaurants, businesses, and public venues amid rising COVID-19 numbers. The U.S. continues to have the highest number of infections and deaths due to COVID-19 of any country in the world. Then why wouldn't we shut down? Because it's their plan to purge us all. On November 13th, the U.S. reported its highest ever daily toll of newly confirmed COVID-19 cases, with a total of 181,571 in one day. On November 17th, the U.S. saw its highest COVID daily death toll in 6 months, with at least 1,707 deaths in one day. according to data from Johns Hopkins University. So why wouldn't you shut down? All the other countries that are doing well have shut down. They all wear masks. They've been given, some kind of a stimulus package or a temporary UBI to get them by. Which brings me to this. If you think either side is going to help you at all, just watch this for a second.
Hey, by the way, if your God's real, just remember he's the opposite of a capitalist. Congress deadlocks on stimulus as lame duck begins. Party leaders show no interest in a post-election compromise, even as the coronavirus rages across the country. Wow. Surprise, surprise. Is she going to tell us how she feeds the people, though? Remember how she said we feed them? Hey, here's Mitch McConnell.
Does your skinny bill contain another round of stimulus checks for all Americans?
No, it doesn't. But it does address an awful lot of things that we do agree on.
No.
So they're not addressing the fact that we need something, but they are addressing the fact that their donors need something. They both agree to that. The Republicans and the Democrats agree on what they want to give, or that they want to give money to everybody else, but not us. Your stimulus isn't coming. Your bailout's not coming. Your rent freeze isn't coming unless you get your fucking ass out in the streets and you protest and you strike. It wouldn't take that long. Jimmy Dore says that if we strike and shut down everything, you shut down grocery stores for 2 days, what kind of a statement would that make? That would scare the shit out of the ruling class, and they would start listening like that. Just saying. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. It all helps the algorithm, and I really do appreciate all of you guys that share this stuff. It helps my channel. We've passed 500 subscribers, so that is awesome. Very excited about that. And if you can help support, financially help out this channel, I am on Venmo, I have a Patreon account, and I'm on PayPal, all at Backyard Politics. And I hope you guys have a great day. Medicare be with you.